Hello, everyone. This is Gabriel for Yeshua, and I'm going to be doing a devotional on the tongue. Have you ever been in a situation where you said something that you regretted saying, or something that you shouldn't have said? Might have been something mean, or it's just something downright bad. Um, the Bible talks about this, and I'm going to read a verse found in Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt." Have you ever seen a forest fire? The thing about a forest fire, it burns acres and acres of land. And but the crazy thing about it, oftentimes, it's caused by a little spark. It could be, someone who didn't, completely take care of their campfire, who extinguished the campfire and didn't completely extinguish it. Or it could have been caused by, negligence of, cigarette butts. But either way, it starts off small, as a small spark, and it spreads. And then the next thing you know, you have acres and acres of land and trees and shrubs being burned. And the book of James also describes the tongue as being, the same way. James describes the tongue as a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. That's found in James chapter 3, verse 6, the NIV. Basically, it could just be something you might have said, like, but something you spoke bad about somebody, and the next thing you know, it turns into a rumor, and it spreads, and it could ruin that person's reputation. But it starts off as something small. It could even be something, like a vicious remark that you might speak to someone in the heat of an argument. Either way, it might have started off as a word, but at the end of it all, it could even ruin a relationship. So it just goes to show you how careful we ought to be with our words, and how careful we ought to be with our tongue. The Bible also says in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18, that the words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. And that's also found in the NIV. That's Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18. And so, just like fire, fire could be used to be as a useful element. You can use fire to, cook and your food and stay warm and provide heat. But fire can also be used as a destructive force. Like I said at the beginning, it could even be used to set up blaze of forest, and cause lots of destruction and damage. And the same could be true about the tongue, about our words. We could use our words either to be helpful and bring healing to someone's life, or we could use our words to bring destruction and be a destructive force in someone's life. And obviously, God wants us to be a useful person in other people's life. We want to use our words to help others and to bless others, and not to be a destructive force with our words and our tongue. I'm going to read that again. Colossians chapter 4, verse 6 reads, "Let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt." Okay? So, God wants us to reflect Him. When we go out into the world and we use our words, God wants us to be the representation of who He is. His words are always full of grace. And so He wants His children to also reflect that and represent that as well. And you might not agree with everything someone might say, but it doesn't mean that you have to be nasty with your words. And so we should always ask God to help our words be wholesome, and help our words bring honor to Him. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with those who are listening to this devotion. And I just pray that, if you're having problems with your conversation, with the words that you might choose to use, I pray that God will bless your mouth and bless your tongue, so that you would use them to bless others and encourage others, and to also build them up rather than tear them down. And I wanted to read this quote to end it. Anger can make us speak our mind when we should be minding our speech. So once again, this is Gabriel for Yeshua, and I just want to bless those who heard this word. Until next time, God bless you.